Commander Vexia's laughter died mid-breath when the human prisoner, a middle-aged cafeteria worker named Jennifer Rodriguez, smiled back and said, "Laugh while you still have teeth." The interrogation chamber of the dreadnought Eternal Conquest had broken the wills of warrior kings in minutes. Its neural disruptors could induce existential dread in the most battle-hardened species. The walls themselves were engineered to amplify despair, their crystalline surface reflecting not just light but the interrogated's deepest fears. Jennifer Rodriguez sat in the restraint field, hands folded in her lap, discussing the psychological warfare apparatus like she was reviewing a particularly disappointing restaurant. "The neural disruptors are interesting," she said, tilting her head. "Bit heavy-handed, though. Have you considered a more subtle approach? The constant existential dread thing gets old fast." According to YouTube analytics, 99.6% of viewers are not subscribed. That's a huge number. By subscribing the channel that is completely free, you'll help support the channel and never miss fresh content. Vexia's mandibles clicked in irritation. In her 300 cycles of service, she had conquered 47 civilizations. Her flagship had reduced planetary defenses to rubble. Her name was whispered in terror across 12 star systems, and this soft, small creature from a backwater world, was critiquing her interrogation techniques. "You understand your position, human?" Vexia leaned forward, her four eyes narrowing. "Your species made contact with the Empire. You flew your primitive vessels into our territory. We have claimed Earth as we have claimed all worlds that fall within our sphere. Resistance is futile. Yeah, I got that part from the brochure." Jennifer scratched her nose, somehow managing the gesture despite the restraint field. "Question though, did you guys actually read our response to your claim?" Vexia hadn't. The response had been logged by a junior communications officer as irrelevant local chatter, standard protocol when conquering primitive civilizations. "Your compliance is not optional," Vexia continued. "I require intelligence on Earth's defensive capabilities, population centers, and..." "Our military encryption protocols," Jennifer finished. "The ones you thought were unbreakable?" "Yeah, we decoded those about 3 weeks ago. Honestly, they weren't that complicated. Marcus from IT figured it out over his lunch break." The temperature in the chamber seemed to drop. Vexia's tactical display flickered, and her second-in-command, Korvax, entered in a rush that suggested something had gone catastrophically wrong. "Commander, we have a situation. Human fleet detected at sector perimeter." Vexia felt a thrill of anticipation. Finally, proper resistance. "Battle formations. Prepare to..." "Commander, they're unarmed civilian vessels." The war room fell silent except for the hum of the ship's power core. Vexia pulled up the tactical display. Hundreds of human ships, none larger than cargo haulers, approaching in what could only be described as a loose, almost casual formation. No weapons. Signatures. No shield configurations. No apparent battle strategy whatsoever. She laughed. It was a harsh, barking sound that echoed through her chambers. "They send their children to fight us? They're merchants." From the interrogation chamber, still visible on the monitor, Jennifer's voice came through. "I did try to warn you." The first impossibility occurred 17 minutes later. The Eternal Conquest's primary weapons array, a graviton cannon capable of cracking continents, simply stopped working. Not damaged, not disabled. Just stopped. "Engineering report," Vexia demanded. Her chief engineer's voice crackled through, tinged with confusion. "Commander, the weapons are functioning perfectly. Better than perfectly, actually. They're operating at 143% efficiency. Then why aren't they firing?" "Because they're too stable. The destabilization cascade that creates the graviton pulse can't initiate. It's like someone optimized the power flow so well that it eliminated the controlled failure necessary for..." "Fix it." "Commander, I don't know how. Whoever did this understands our systems better than we do." Vexia pulled up the external feed. The human ships were spreading through her fleet like spores, attaching to vessels with mechanical docking clamps. No violence, no boarding actions, just attachment. Her tactical officer's report made even less sense. "Commander, the humans are accessing our systems." "Impossible. Our security protocols are being bypassed with what appears to be commercial-grade computing tablets. They're not even military hardware. One of them has a sticker that says, 'World's okayest dad.'" Vexia marched back to the interrogation chamber. Jennifer hadn't moved, still sitting placidly in the restraint field. "What are your people doing to my fleet?" "Oh, that's just Marcus, and probably Sandra from accounting. She's got a knack for systems integration." Jennifer smiled apologetically. "They found some stability flaws in your power systems. Fixed them for you." "Fix them?" Vexia's voice rose to a shriek. "You've disabled our weapons." "No, we've made them work correctly. Turns out when your power systems are actually stable, the weapons can't fire anymore, which honestly seems like a design flaw you should have caught earlier." Jennifer paused. "I mean, not to tell you your business." Korvax burst in again, his scales flushed with rage. "Commander, we must execute the prisoner immediately. This is clearly a coordinated—" Jennifer chuckled. It was a warm, genuinely amused sound. "You really haven't figured it out yet, have you?" "Figured out what?" Vexia demanded. "Honey, you're not in control anymore. You haven't been for about 45 minutes. Vexia's hand moved to her command console, initiating emergency retreat protocols. The hyperspace drives would engage, pulling the entire fleet out of human space, and they could regroup. Alert. Hyperspace navigation. Offline. "Yeah, we needed you to stay put," Jennifer said, as casually as if she were explaining a traffic delay. "Space traffic control thing. Hope you don't mind." "This is an act of war." "No, sweetie, this is an intervention." Across Vexia's fleet, something unprecedented was happening. The human ships weren't taking prisoners. They were rescuing the alien crews from their own vessels. Reports flooded in, each more absurd than the last. Human civilians were offering her warriors hot beverages and pastries. A medical frigate was treating combat injuries with primitive human medicine that somehow worked better than regeneration pods. Humans were showing alien engineers how their own ships functioned, pointing out inefficiencies and suggesting improvements. Most disturbing, her crew wasn't resisting. They were taking notes. Vexia watched her empire's military might become obsolete in real time, dismantled not by force, but by relentlessly cheerful competence. "May I?" Jennifer gestured to the restraint field. When Vexia didn't respond, frozen in shock, Jennifer simply stood up. The field that could hold a Kronar battle beast flickered and died. "You see, Commander, the thing about humans is that nobody told us we should be scared of you. We just saw a problem that needed fixing." Jennifer pulled out a tablet, distressingly similar to the ones being used to dismantle Vexia's fleet, and swiped through screens. "We've been reading your military communications for about 3 months now. Your encryption is very thorough, very sophisticated, but it's based on mathematical principles, and humans are really, really good at math when we're bored." She turned the tablet to show decoded messages. The entire alien command structure's secret communications laid bare. "We saw your invasion plans, saw the 47 civilizations you've conquered, saw the economic projections, the resource extraction schedules, the suppression protocols." Jennifer's voice remained gentle, almost kind. "And we figured you folks were having some kind of cultural crisis, wanted to help." "Help?" Vexia's laugh was brittle. "You're conquering us." "No, honey, we're debugging you." Jennifer sat on the edge of the interrogation table, completely at ease. "See, your entire empire is built on an unsustainable model. Your military spending is 73% of your GDP. Your conquered worlds are in constant revolt, requiring massive resource investment just to maintain control. Your leadership is paranoid and fractured, and your economy was projected to collapse completely within 2 standard years." She showed Vexia the data, projections that match the Empire's own classified strategic assessments perfectly. We didn't destroy anything. We just accelerated the inevitable and offered a better option. What option? Well, for starters, we've contacted all 47 of your conquered civilizations, offered them actual peace treaties, technology sharing, and representation in a new trade federation. Most of them are accepting because Jennifer pulled up another screen. We showed them your own internal projections about the Empire's collapse. Turns out, people are more willing to negotiate when they know the alternative is mutual destruction. Vexia's communication panel lit up with an emergency transmission from High Command. She activated it with shaking hands. Supreme Commander Rathzal's face appeared, contorted with rage. Vexia, you will destroy the human homeworld immediately. This insult to the Empire cannot— Jennifer leaned into frame. Oh, hey, Supreme Commander. Yeah, he's gonna have some trouble with that order. Who dares? Jennifer Rodriguez, currently assigned as Cultural Liaison. Quick question, how's that command center lockout treating you? The Supreme Commander's face went from rage to confusion to dawning horror. What have you done? Oh, that wasn't me. That was Thomas from maintenance. He was cleaning your main computer core and noticed some bugs in the system. Fixed them for you. Jennifer's smile was radiant. The bugs were your control systems. You're currently locked in your own conference room. Don't worry, though. We left snacks and water. Very humane detainment conditions. The transmission cut off. Vexia stared at the blank screen, then at Jennifer, then at her hands. This is impossible. Yeah, we get that a lot. Jennifer stood, brushing off her remarkably unremarkable clothing. Here's the thing, Commander. War is what you were doing. We're just helping you stop. Laugh while you still have teeth. The words finally made sense. Every moment Vexia had spent laughing at human weakness, they had been systematically dismantling her civilization. Not through violence, not through conquest, through competence, efficiency, and what appeared to be genuine problem-solving. The teeth were gone. Military power, neutralized and optimized into uselessness. Economic control, revealed as unsustainable and replaced with actual trade systems. Authority, locked in its own headquarters. Fear-based control, made obsolete by the simple revelation that cooperation worked better. All gone. All fixed. All improved into something that couldn't wage war anymore. Why? Vexia's voice was hollow. Why not just destroy us? You clearly have the capability. Jennifer looked at her with something like sympathy. Because that's not fixing the problem, Commander. That's just making a bigger mess. And humans are really, really good at fixing messes. She gestured to the tactical display, now showing the new galactic order forming in real time. We analyzed your empire's structure. Unsustainable, cruel, inefficient. The solution wasn't to destroy it. It was to upgrade it. On the display, former conquered worlds were joining a trade federation. Their technology was being upgraded with human improvements. Their economies were stabilizing. Their people were celebrating. Every system now works better, Jennifer continued, but none of them can be used for conquest anymore. We're not conquerors, Commander. We're really, really pushy helpers. And if we resist? Resist what? Everything already works better. Your warriors are healthier because we fixed your medical systems. Your ships are more efficient because we optimized your power grids. Your people are happier because they're not living in a collapsing empire anymore. Jennifer shrugged. Turns out, when you make things actually work, people want to keep them that way. No enforcement necessary. Vexia looked at her crew on the monitors. They were learning from humans, adapting, even laughing. The transformation was already happening. What happens to me? That's up to you. Jennifer pulled out a data pad and handed it to Vexia. You've got skills, Commander. Logistics, resource management, strategic planning. The Federation could use someone who knows how to coordinate large-scale operations, or you can try to rebuild the Empire and watch everything collapse around you. Your choice. The data pad showed a job offer, not a surrender, not a punishment. A job offer. The ultimate defeat. being made obsolete and then given a participation ribbon. I need time. Sure, take all the time you need. Jennifer headed toward the door, then paused. Oh, and Commander, the Eternal Conquest is a beautiful ship. Waste to scrap her. Maybe rename her something more friendly? The Federation could use a good flagship for diplomatic missions. She left Vexia alone in the interrogation chamber that could no longer interrogate anyone. 3 months later, Commander Vexia stood on the bridge of the Persistent Reminder, formerly the Eternal Conquest, coordinating the peaceful transition of her 7th former Imperial world to Federation membership. Her crew had adapted faster than she'd expected. Her warriors were now engineers, diplomats, traders. Her tactical officers were logistics coordinators. Her interrogators were cultural liaisons. Most of them seemed happier. The human advisors aboard were infuriatingly cheerful and impossibly competent. They fixed problems before Vexia even noticed them. They optimized systems she'd thought were already perfect. They made suggestions that always improved things. She'd stopped resisting after week 2. It was exhausting fighting against people who were only trying to help. Commander, her communications officer called. Jennifer Rodriguez is preparing to depart. She's requesting a moment of your time. Vexia found Jennifer in the docking bay, loading boxes onto a shuttle that looked like it had been built in someone's garage, and knowing humans, probably had been. Heading home? Vexia asked. Yeah, my leave's up. Got to get back to work. Jennifer secured the last box, then turned with that same warm smile that had haunted Vexia's nightmares for months. You've done good work here. Commander, the transition is going smoothly. You should be proud. I commanded a dreadnought. I conquered worlds. Now I coordinate supply chains and mediate trade disputes. And you're good at it. Jennifer's tone was sincere. Leadership is leadership. Whether it's military or civilian, you're using the same skills, just for building instead of breaking. Vexia surprised herself by asking, why didn't you just destroy us? You clearly could have. Jennifer laughed, that same warm chuckle from the interrogation chamber. Because that's not fixing the problem, that's just making a bigger mess. Plus, cafeteria work taught me something. Everyone's just trying to get through their day, even conquerors. Cafeteria work? Oh, did I not mention? I'm a high school cafeteria manager back on Earth. This was volunteer work during my vacation. Jennifer grinned at Vexia's expression. Honestly, alien empires are easier than feeding teenagers. At least you folks are polite about dietary restrictions. Of all the revelations, this one hit hardest. The human who had dismantled an interstellar empire was a lunch lady. The galaxy will never be the same, Vexia said quietly. Nah, it'll be better. Jennifer climbed into her shuttle, then paused. Oh, and Commander, if you need help with anything else, Earth's customer service hotline is open 24/7. We're very responsive. She sent a message to Vexia's comm unit, a laughing emoji. The shuttle departed, leaving Vexia on the deck of her renamed flagship. Laugh while you still have teeth. She understood now. The human approach wasn't violence, it was inevitability. They didn't take your teeth, they made teeth obsolete. They transformed the very nature of conflict into something that couldn't exist in the face of genuine helpfulness. Vexia looked around at her crew, alive, healthy, purposeful. The Empire was gone, but they remained. Changed, improved, optimized into something that could build instead of destroy. She pulled up the latest reports. 15 other aggressive civilizations had voluntarily requested human intervention after seeing the Empire's transformation. The Galactic Council, newly formed, had implemented human protocols. Before any military action, check if humans could just fix the problem instead. The universe was learning. Humans didn't conquer. They debugged reality itself. Vexia smiled despite herself. She'd adapted to the new paradigm without even noticing. Maybe being conquered by lunch ladies wasn't the worst fate after all. On Earth, Jennifer Rodriguez reviewed cafeteria supply orders, frowning at the spreadsheet. Chocolate milk shortage again, she muttered. This is going to require some creative problem solving. Behind her, her assistant manager looked up from inventory reports. Hey, Jennifer, how was your vacation? Oh, relaxing, did some sightseeing, fixed an imperial collapse. The usual. She highlighted the chocolate milk line. Can you contact our distributor? We need to optimize this supply chain. Sure thing. Jennifer leaned back in her chair, already thinking about lunch service. Tomorrow was Taco Tuesday. The teenagers would be challenging, probably more challenging than the alien empire had been. She smiled. Somewhere out there, the galaxy was fundamentally changed, and she had 300 students to feed in 45 minutes, just another day's work.